This segment sponsored by Clarity Way.
Well, as we all know, addiction recovery is never an easy process, but with the right support, you can find long-term success. Joining us today to share more about that is Dr. Robert Matalevich and Jack Gilbert from Clarity Way. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are excited to have you, especially this time of year. It can be super difficult. Tell us a little bit about what Clarity Way is.
Well, we're a 27-bed inpatient residential treatment facility for substance abuse disorders. We're located about 50 minutes north of Baltimore, between York, Pennsylvania, and Hanover.
Okay, so Clarity Way, tell us about how that's different from other treatment options out there.
Well, one of the things that we do is we really try to remove barriers to treatment. So one of the ways that we do that is we will allow clients, for instance, to have access to their electronics, because some people just can't step away. They may own a business, they may have a job that they can't step completely away from, and of course we don't want that to be their focus, but it's something that might keep them from being in treatment if they can't deal with that. Another thing about electronics is it also helps people who maybe have children or a loved one at home who they're taking care of, and if they can have that and FaceTime them in the evening, that can get them over the threshold and into treatment.
That is super important, because I know a lot of people will take that complete removal from the life they have as an excuse to not get treatment.
Correct. Absolutely.
So that's a huge difference and can be very successful with your programs.
Right.
Tell us about, if we have a loved one dealing with addiction, how do we approach them about getting help?
Approaching someone during the holidays or in general can be concerning. Nobody wants to take time out of their life to get treatment, but if you went to a doctor or a hospital and said you were having a heart attack, certainly you would want to follow those recommendations and get into treatment. So treating addiction is no different. I mean, it's a spectrum disease, and the symptoms vary in severity, but certainly you could have an acute time during the holidays where someone would need treatment.
That's a huge point to make. It's a spectrum disease, because I know that some people think, oh, you have to be, they have their idea of what rock bottom is.
Right.
So you have to hit that type of rock bottom. Tell us a little bit about a piece of advice on how you would approach somebody during the holiday season, maybe. How, if I or a loved one might be thinking that somebody in my life is dealing with addiction.
Sure. I think during the holidays or any time of the year, it's important to approach that loved one from a place of support and love and care. It's not really effective to lecture, to try and make them feel guilty, to call them out in front of other people. It's important to listen to what they have to say as well. The other thing I would say is this: you have to be prepared for them to push back, for them to say that they're not going to go because they're scared. And it's important to really emphasize that you care about them and you love them and you want them to get the support that they need. And it's equally important, because addiction is a disease that affects the entire family, that as the person who is trying to get your loved one into care, that you also take care of yourself, meaning that you have the support of a therapist or a counselor or a support group like Al-Anon.
And that's so important. So off of that, do you guys have a message to somebody who would, a person or a loved one who is battling addiction, like what they should do?
Sure. What I would say is this: for anybody who enters treatment at Clarity Way or any other facility, if you enter treatment and you're able to enter into recovery and sustain that, I can assure you that whatever your expectations were before you entered treatment, they will be far, far exceeded beyond your wildest dreams. And you're worth it, and so is your family. So please seek treatment.
You're worth it, and Clarity Way makes it easier to integrate it into your life. Rob, tell us where we can go for more help if we find that maybe this is where us or a loved one needs to be.
The number's on the screen, but you can also check out our website at www.clarityway.com, and there's a whole host of information there available to you.
You guys are so important, and this is a great time of year to be talking about this. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks so much for having us.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you as well.
Thank you. Well, we'll be right back.